what's up guys, it's Ozzy here. I'm really sorry I haven't actually done a movie review in it feels like a really long time, like 2 years plus or something. I'm really sorry for that. As I said in my previous video, I have just a ton of schoolwork to do. Right now I should be studying for my exam tomorrow morning, but I really wanted to bang out this review for you guys because Thor Ragnarok was one of my most anticipated movies of the year, and I gotta say it lived up to the hype. This movie is all about the events of Ragnarok, which if you guys don't know, it's basically Asgard gets destroyed. So how this happens is from Fire Lord Surtur, so it's this big fiery guy, basically like a evil human torch, but really mystical. I don't know, it's a little hard to explain, but this guy wants to destroy Asgard. Thor has to kind of stop him, and then all in the mix of this, Hela comes into this as well, and she's just kind of fucking shit up in Asgard and banishes Thor, and just tons of stuff happens in this movie. The story, I know I didn't explain it that well, but it was pretty good. So let's talk about the tone of this movie first of all. So, I'm sure if you guys are watching this review, you probably care about MCU movies or comic book movies in general. So let's talk about the first two Thor movies. So the first one I thought was okay, second one was shit. This one, easily the best Thor movie out of all of them. Easily, by far. There's not even a comparison between this one and the first one. The first one almost felt like a DC movie to me, really dark and gritty, and then this one was just totally flipped upside down. There was tons and tons and tons of jokes, and when I say this, I don't exaggerate this at all. Every single minute I was laughing. I really like that in Marvel movies. I like to have a good time and colorful movies when I see Marvel stuff, and this definitely hit the nail on the board. Chris Hemsworth is actually a really funny guy. I never really noticed this. I know he had little moments here and there in the MCU, but this movie, wow, he was really, really funny. Another thing you guys probably know is that the Incredible Hulk is in this movie, which is awesome because I love him, and obviously he doesn't have his own solo kind of movies going on, so every little sprinkle of him I can get, I'll take. And I gotta say, he was probably the best or top 3 best things about this movie. He was absolutely amazing. He actually talks in this movie, so I don't know if you guys have seen the Avengers cartoons or anything, but in those cartoons he actually talks and makes jokes and stuff, and I really liked how they kind of made that into the live action version, which was really, really cool to see. A lot of you might be a little worried that there might be a little bit too much Hulk, but I gotta say it's the perfect amount. He doesn't overpower Thor for runtime or anything like that. It's pretty much perfect. The fight scene between Thor and the Hulk, I gotta say, was really, really cool to see. It was pretty even. I didn't think they were gonna go that route. I thought, based off of the trailers, the Hulk was gonna destroy Thor, and then when they wake up, I know you guys have probably seen in the trailer, where he's just oh, I beat you easily, and then Bruce is just oh, that doesn't sound right. So I thought the Hulk was going to absolutely destroy him, but it was actually pretty even, so that's pretty cool to see that they were pretty much matched in the arena. Another really cool thing about this movie was Valkyrie, or Valkyrie, I don't really know how to say that word, but she was really cool in this movie. So she's basically living on the Sakaar planet where all the fighting happens and stuff, and she is one of the last remaining Valkyries in the 9 realms, I think, and she was really, really cool. Her fighting style was really cool. She was actually an alcoholic, so she was kind of stumbling around a lot and dealing with her drinking issues, I guess, during the movie. And some of the scenes she was in were just stunning. I was watching this in IMAX with, you guys have probably seen this in the trailer as well, where all of the Valkyries are on like Pegasuses or unicorns or whatever, and they're flying towards Hela. That scene was just Now let's talk about Hela. So she was actually a really good villain. When the trailers first came out, I was she's gonna be an okay villain, whatever. But she killed it. She was such a good villain for the MCU. In the MCU, the villains don't tend to be that evil, in my opinion. They kind of do some bad stuff. They'll steal or something, like the Vulture, but Hela was a bad guy. She'll go on a killing spree, kill over 100 people, and yeah, that just one of the things she does in this movie, she kills a shit ton of people, and I've never really seen that in the MCU. When I actually see the villains do evil stuff, that's when I know it's a good villain, and if it kind of makes sense. So like all the stuff she does fits in with the story, and everything was just really gruesome, and I was honestly surprised they even did some of the scenes they did in this movie, because it seemed a little too much for PG-13, I would say. But overall, Hela was one of my most favorite MCU villains to date. This movie was actually pretty darn short as well. Normally movies now, like superhero blockbuster movies, they'll go for like maybe 2.5, a little over 2.5 hours. And me, I'm totally fine with that. If I'm going to pay $15 to go see a movie, I want to stay there as long as possible and watch the best movie possible. But this movie was actually just under 2 hours, so that's pretty fast for a superhero movie, just because so many things happen, so many characters come into the movie, and so on. But it honestly felt perfect. There was not one scene where I was like, oh, this is taking a little too long, like, can this just speed up? When there was no scene that was too short, like everything was just the perfect pace and timing. So I gotta say, guys, I really enjoyed Thor Ragnarok. It was a blast. The whole thing was fun. It was funny. There was just so many things about it that I love so much. And it's easily the best Thor movie ever, because the first two were... The first one, like I said, was kind of mediocre, whatever. The second one was, I don't know what the hell that was. But the third one, third time's the charm. That's all I gotta say. So without further ado, I'm going to give Thor Ragnarok an A. I cannot wait to own this movie on Blu-ray. I'm actually going to try to get it on Steelbook. And if you guys know me, I only get the movies I really, really like on Steelbook. So I got like Spider-Man Homecoming, Deadpool. I want to get the Logan one. I missed out on the pre-order, but I'm going to try to get that one. I'm going to try to get Thor Ragnarok. And maybe after that, I'll get some of the other ones as well. So guys, the next movie on my schedule, I guess, is going to be Justice League. So I hope that is a really good movie, because if it's not a good movie, I'm going to be pretty sad. And I don't want to be sad. Being sad sucks. One more thing before I leave you guys, I just want to show some of the really awesome stuff I got at my theater. So I go to a Cineplex theater, so I'll show you what they had this time around. So they actually had a Thor Ragnarok cup, so it's a really good quality cup. It's got the same image on the back. I can't really show it because my hands don't move that way, but it's got the same picture, so that's really, really cool. And then it comes with these little figurines on the top, so I got the Hulk, of course. And then this is probably my favorite thing that they hand out. So if you go on the opening show or the day before the opening day, whatever that's called, early screening, whatever, they actually give out posters. So I'll show you this one. It looks really cool, almost like anime. So yeah, it looks really, really cool. I have probably like almost 10 different mini movie posters now, so eventually I want to start getting them across like my wall in my home theater, so I think that's going to look pretty cool. So if you guys have seen Thor Ragnarok, leave a comment below of what you guys thought about the movie, and stay tuned for my Justice League review. So that's going to be out in like just over 2 weeks, I want to say, so I cannot wait for that movie. I hope it's amazing. But once again, thanks for watching my channel, guys. I appreciate it a lot. I'm sorry I haven't been uploading too much lately, but make sure you guys subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.